Today's video is a short how-to or how I for the tilted waist adjustment, which has been requested by many of you in the past. So this is going to be a short video and yeah, hopefully will be helpful for you. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Izzy, and on this channel I love to share my journey as I love or as I learn to basically fit patterns to my body. And I've learned about this tilted waist adjustment a while ago now and mentioned it a few times on my channel. So this is one of the standard adjustments I make to most pant patterns. And a lot of you have requested me to do a very quick tutorial or how I have no idea if this is the way of doing this adjustment, but I found it worked for me, so I'm going to share how I do it. And if you do find a better way of doing it, then yeah, definitely leave that in the comments below. So before I go into the tutorial part of this video, let's have a quick chat about why you would need a tilted waist or how to recognize if you might need a tilted waist adjustment. So I can only speak for myself and my body, but most of the time, up until a few months ago, when I would make trousers or pants, and it didn't matter if it was elasticated waist or a zipper front or whatever, whenever I would put them on the back, the waist would land exactly in the right spot, felt very comfortable. There was no pulling or dipping or anything like that. It was just good. But in the front, the waist would sit on an awkward spot on my body, comfort-wise, but also visually. Like, it would end up usually a lot higher than what feels comfortable to me. So, and I used to joke around, like whenever I used to buy ready-to-wear pants or jeans, I often found myself just wanting to fold the front waist down to just make them sit properly. And then I started finding the exact same thing for my me-made pants. I constantly was pushing them down so they would land on a more comfortable place. After a while, I learned or I discovered the tilted waist adjustment, and yeah, it has changed everything. So let's show you, I have a picture of a pair of pants that I made recently where I did do the adjustment. And in this picture of me sideways in those pants, you can clearly see how the waist sits lower than the back. I mean, the front of the waist sits lower than the back. And maybe it looks weird from the side, but that's what's comfortable for me. So yeah, that's basically the end result. So if you don't think you're gonna like that, you know, on the side view, your pants are going this way, then, you know, maybe don't do this adjustment. But if that doesn't bother you, and if you want your pants to sit on your body a little more comfortably, then yeah, the tilted waist adjustment might be just a thing. So let's go over to my cutting table now, where I'm gonna show you on a real pants pattern piece, like the whole size or a real size pattern piece, show you how to do the adjustment, and then we'll come back here to wrap things up. All right, so I have the front pattern piece here. So this is my front piece, and what I want to do is at the center front here, I want to bring this down 1 inch. But I don't want to disturb what's going on the side seam at all. So this pattern has a 5/8 seam allowance. So I'm going to mark that first. So this is 5/8 right here. So I'm going to put a line here because I don't want to cut through my seam allowance. I want to stop cutting right here. And then I'm going to mark another line right about here that is perfectly perpendicular to my grain line here. So I'm just going to line up the mark on my ruler to my grain line, and then I'm going to trace or mark a line from the center front to my seam allowance right here. Okay? And then I'm going to grab my scissors, cut on this marked line, and stop right at the seam allowance. And then I'm going to take my scissors and cut on the other side up to, but not through, the seam allowance. So see, I have a little bit of a hinge here. All right, then I'm going to mark on my pattern, and I'm going to use the lines on my cutting mat here. Mark down 1 inch because I want to remove an inch from the front, and then simply bring my cut piece down to my little mark here. And because I cut here, like, the pattern should stay nice and flat. Now 1 inch is not a whole lot, so it shouldn't distort your pattern too much. I didn't disturb my grain line at all. I did disturb these 2 lines here. So this I have to basically remark because this is going to be my pin tuck. So I'm just going to go like this. And like this. And then just put those little round thingies back. All right, so this did not at all disturb the length or the shape of the top of the pants. So my waistband's going to fit on this without a problem. It minimally disturbed the shape of the angle here where my pocket is going to get attached, but that should not create any issues. I should be able to kind of fudge these 2 things together. And I've remarked my pin tucks here, so there you go. My rise is now shorter by 1 inch, which, yeah, and the back we're not touching. So the back is going to, you know, basically land exactly where I need it to. So now I'm ready to cut my muslin and see if there are any other changes I need to make to my pants. But now I know the waist is going to land in the proper spot for me. And there you go. It is super, super simple. I mean, the hardest part, or the more complicated part, is really figuring out how much length to take out. In some patterns, I find I have to go as much as 1.5 inches. In most, I'm good with 1 inch, but that is something you're basically going to learn as you go, and as you make different patterns, you'll just kind of be able to figure out how much length you need simply by making maybe a wearable muslin or a muslin, wearing it where you like it to, and then folding the extra fabric and just figuring out how much you're taking out. So yeah. Now, one thing I did want to say, the way I showed it to you, you're basically just adjusting the front, and that's because I usually only need to adjust the front. For some people, though, you find that you have to adjust both the front and the back. So you need to lower the front, but raise the back a little bit so it really sits on a comfortable spot for you. I don't need to do that, so I didn't show you how to do that, but I'm going to link to a video from J Stern Designs because she put a tutorial for adjusting the front and back waist for a tilted waist adjustment that is just genius. So instead of having to do the adjustment twice, once in the front, once in the back, she shows you how to adjust both front and back simultaneously. It is so cool. So I'm going to put a link to her video down in the description if you find that you need to adjust both the front and the back. I would love to know if you are somebody who needs a tilted waist adjustment, if you currently do them on your own pants, or if you're going to be trying one for the first time. Please leave that in the comments below, because if you are going to try this, I would love to know how it works out for you. Please, please come back and let me know. All right, well, thank you so much for watching. Please give the video a like on your way out if you liked it. Consider subscribing because there will be a lot more of these short video tutorials coming at you. So basically, I just want to document all of the adjustments that I make for my clothes to fit my body properly. So we're talking narrow shoulders, we're talking full bust adjustments, we're talking length adjustments, all of those. Oh, and pants, of course pants, always pants. So I will be putting short tutorials for all of those. Again, I am not an expert, but I am curious. I do a lot of research. I try things. I get things wrong all the time. But when I do find something that works for me, I just love to share that on the channel. So hopefully you'll want to subscribe and come along for the ride. All right. Thanks again, and I will see you soon.